in Vienna last year. I, and it was at a United States European Union small medium workshop for the governments actually, and you were there as a representative for Portugal, and I was there on behalf of the United States. So it was an exciting event. I got to express my views on what we were producing for saving our oceans and our world. And you stood up in the audience graciously as you are, and said the most magnificent things and asked the most pertinent of questions. And I was drawn to you because I thought, what a courageous woman doing wonderful work. And when I found out that you were in the midst of, or had been creating all kinds of fashion from sustainable products, I was excited to know you. And you stood up to become a forum member for our business to business international forum member that moment. And it was wonderful, exciting, and so heartwarming to know that there are other people around the world that have similar passions.
Yeah, what's quite amazing that they, what's for me was great to meet you two there, and was like, oh wow, more people is thinking like that. Yeah, let's make it better.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So and what do you think about the event and what it means to you?
Your
The
event.
greenest, the greenest fashion event.
Yes, I think that you are encouraging other people to take notice of how we treat the planet, from the air we breathe to the clothes we're wearing, and I think it's extraordinary. I've never heard of anyone doing the work that you are doing. I don't know that anyone else is, Daniela. So, applause to you. I think that you're a marvelous human being in intellect, and beyond that, having great fashion sense, knowing what, women and men like to use and wear, and making sustainable fashion lovely. I mean, it's just beautiful what you've done. So yeah, I think it's a wonderful, important event for the world to see, because from here it will grow. The American Chemical Society has gotten heavily involved in watching entrepreneurs like yourself and others coming up with ideas on how to be careful about our natural resources, how to use sustainable materials, and they're even using bacteria to grow certain dyes. So I love what you're doing and how conscientious you are doing it.
Oh, thank you, Janet.
So most of my career as a biochemist was in the health field, and I invented some things for the medical field. But after the Deepwater Horizon spill in 2010, a friend of mine who's an attorney and someone else who's a chemist said, "Can't you do anything about this oil spill?" And I thought, oh no, I really can't, because I'm not a chemist, I'm a biochemist. Well, then my father's words rang in my mind, because he was an inventor, and he would tell me, if someone asks you for help, even if you don't think you have something to offer, it's best to just say, let me think about that. So I said, well, wait a minute, let me just think about it. And so I spent the night and I thought, I wonder, if I treat the ocean like I would the human body, could I help? And so I went away and I investigated what the ocean had to, its chemistry, and a little bit about what crude oil was. And I realized that our human body chemistry isn't as different from the ocean as one would imagine. So I applied my human biochemistry knowledge to the ocean's pollution and that particular topic of petrochemicals and hydrocarbons, crude oil. And it worked, and it worked so wonderfully. It was really amazing. It was fast and safe, 100% natural elements. And so, I thought, well, in order for me to actually test that particular oil, because there's oil from all over the world, I had to go down there. I'm a scientist and I wanted to see for myself, because it worked on the samples of oil I got, but we couldn't get one from that particular site. So I went down there and took a crew with. We went off the coast of the Barataria Bay area outside of Louisiana, and a very nice person who was an oil rig executive for 30 years, retired, got me out into the water about a mile and a half offshore. And I nearly died there, to tell you the truth, because I didn't know all that was involved in that whole what they were applying to it, and how the toxins were. So anyway, I walked out into the water, um, And as I got out about 45 yards or so, I sank up to my chest in like black oil quicksand. Everything had collected there and I didn't realize it. So from there I was saved. I had some problems following that, but I will say that I got my sample that I needed. And because I did that, I was able to test that particular oil and all that was there and realize that I had something that worked. So in order for science to move forward, we have to take those kinds of risks. Um, in some way that I look back and thought, oh, would I ever do that again? I probably would, because like that, if you will, and preserving human life and the lives of animals and plants and so forth, you do those things. And so I'm here today with a company called JCOR and a product that is EcoBioClean. And we're working to reduce the toxic effects of hydrocarbon around the world. Yes, I think that as we move forward with chemistry in mind, and chemistry isn't all chemicals, as you know, when we leave a light footprint behind, that's good. My perspective is let's leave no footprint behind. Let's get to that point where we actually make life better. So my chemistry, when we transform the crude oil, it actually becomes food forms for aquatic and ground life. So instead of just eliminating it or washing it to the lower surfaces of the water, the lower columns of water, ours actually transforms it. So like you, using things, products that are, and I want to hear all about what you're doing now, Danielle, that actually promote wellness. It's wonderful because our plants grow and die, but how we use them and we treat them like people, right?
Yes, definitely, yes.
They offer us their services, and I think it's grand. And you've
Yeah.
exploited that in the greatest way. So it's something I'd never, like I say, never heard of before, and I love what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you, Janet. Thank you very much. And can you tell us a little bit more about green chemistry? What it means, the green chemistry? Because I think people just realize that okay, it's green with a new type of chemicals. I think still many questions about it, and I think people still thinking that it's too hard to do it or too expensive or very difficult, and we have to make it uh, uh, better. We have to make it like, what can I say, easy. Okay, so can you explain us a little bit more
Yes,
about it?
and actually there is a 12-step, if you will, definition for green chemistry, which I won't have available this very moment for you, but it's online. And basically what we're saying is, whatever you're manufacturing right now, you can take steps to do that in a kinder way to the environment. So if you are a company producing, let's say, um, a table, and you normally need a certain number of chemicals for that. You take notice of the chemicals that what we call are chemicals of concern, which pollute the planet and endanger life more than other chemicals do. We want to eliminate those and reduce them as quickly as possible. And so the engineers and the experts within those companies have the obligation today in the United States. I'm not sure what other countries are, what their laws are, but they're following suit, or we're following suit with them, to eliminate the toxins that are causing harm to human life, animals, the planet in general. Now, manufacturing has many parts to it. So there are liquid manufacturers, and there are hard goods manufacturers, there are soft goods manufacturers, and all of us can reduce the amount of electricity, the amount of water that we use, the kind of dyes that are used, the amount of time that it takes. All of it is part of being green. So when you use products and you have a packaging, we want it to be biodegradable. You want to be sure that now today, as plastics are being used and more so eliminated, because if you look at our toxic oceans and the islands of plastic that there are, it's so sad that so many of us are actually polluted because of our own discard without thought of trash. And so we want to eliminate all types of toxins in general. But in production, it's not that it costs more. It actually can cost much less, because when you're using less, you're paying less.
is like not good for the planet, for the animals, for us, and yeah, it's being like for me and you and all the people in the Green Forum, it's like it's being hard to pass this message to
Yes.
the
But this is how I feel. Together, we're like a loudspeaker. If we're little voices by ourselves, someone may not listen. But the more of us that gather, the louder the voice we have, because we do live, it seems, in a land of giants, if you will. And
yeah
oftentimes we feel like we're, tiny and inconspicuous. But together, we can have a very big impact. It's almost like a mosquito biting you. Yes, it's
yes.
very small, but it can be irritating. I've gotten to know how wonderful it is that we can have fashion and safety for ourselves, um,
Yeah,
because the skin is the largest organ we have. When we
yeah,
cover
yeah.
it, it's got to be with good things
Definitely.
because it absorbs whatever we lay on it. So
Yeah.
when we have healthy products next to our skin, we'll stay healthier a longer time.
Yes,
True.
which is amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the
Mhm.
point because people don't realize that this is a very important point about what you're saying about putting together with our skin is very important to be a health solution.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, right.
But it seems out of sight, out of mind. If you don't bring it to the awareness of the average person, they won't have thought about it in their lifetime, my guess. I
Yeah,
didn't. I have to say, I'm very conscientious about the environment and health and all of it. But it took me a while to say, wait a minute, cotton, well, I wear cotton, well, I wear this, I did. But I didn't realize what was involved in the manufacturing of
yeah,
all that.
yeah,
So by you bringing this to our awareness, you're like the doctor of fashion. I love it because you know
okay.
you're helping heal people's bodies differently than one would have thought.
Yeah.
I think it's just quite extraordinary. I really applaud you. I love what you're doing.
Thank you, Zeddy. Thank you very much. And you want to add something more to this our conversation, and to
I would say, first of all, I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person for you. I feel so honored that you thought of me to include me in your event. And I am just so grateful to know you and what you're doing. And I have to say to all the people that attend, you are in the hands of someone who is extraordinary in the world, and you
thank
need to really appreciate what you're going to visit, what you're going to see there, and all of the things that you'll learn, because we need to promote this universally. I think this is something so incredibly important, and I'm so grateful to have you as part of our International Collaborative Forum. Daniela, I applaud you for all you're doing, and I wish you the very best of luck going forward. And I think next year this event will even grow to be something more magnificent than it is
you.
already.
Yes. And next year you will be here with us
I
for
will
sure.
come.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you,
Thank
Janet,
you so
for
very much.
being with us. Okay, and just have this conversation with me and share with every people that will be seeing. And I wish you all the best there. I know
Thank you.
that you have some events also happening there,
Yes.
and yeah, for sure we'll be here in the next year.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. And I wish you all the very best and much success with your event.
Thank you, Janet.